What's up, people? It's Josh Austin here, and today I'm going to show you guys how I do my leg days part 2. Now, today was actually supposed to be a glute hamstring focus day, but somehow it turned into a quad focus day. So that's just so you guys know the different selection of my exercises and the sequence of them as well. Now, I'm showing you guys how I stretch, how I start off my leg days. I used to not stretch at all, but I realized the older I get, the more it really helps to make sure that you stretch and you get your muscles primed for the movements that you're going to be doing. And trust me, it helps a ton. I can tell a difference between whenever I don't stretch and whenever I do stretch. So, yeah, if you guys aren't stretching, make sure you start now. So after my warm-up, one of my other favorite ways to get my legs primed as well is doing single leg extensions. And I love this exercise because it's not super demanding on the quads, but yet it still makes sure it gets everything engaged. And like I said, you don't have to use a whole lot of weight. It's your first exercise. You want to make sure you're warming up still. So you can go light. Honestly, I started with 40 pounds right here, and then I moved up after each set. So like I said, it's beautiful for simply getting the quad engaged. And if you want even more quad engagement, point your toe to the sky. And if you want to get a little bit of hamstring action in there, you can slow down the rep. And once you're at the top of your leg extension, you can go slow and you can kind of feel that tug whenever you're coming down on your hamstring too. And so that'll help engage not only the quad, but the hamstring as well. Such a beautiful exercise. You'll probably see it all over my Instagram, and it's something I highly recommend. So now we move on to hamstrings. I usually do like a single leg curl, but today I was feeling more of just a normal leg curl. So my biggest tip I can give with hamstring curls is, guys, you want to make sure you do your best to keep your hips down close to the pad, or whether you're laying down or whether you're seated, just do your best to keep your hips down. And what that is going to do, that's going to give you a little bit more activation in the glutes and hams. Because whenever we lift our hips up, that's actually going to take away some of the tension that we might get from the exercise. And you don't want that. You want to get as much out of the exercise as you can. So let's make sure we keep our hips down, and pretty much you want to drive your heels all the way to your butt, and that would be a perfect rep. Now we're going into RDLs. Whenever I get tired of doing them with a barbell or dumbbells, sometimes I'll just go ahead and grab a kettlebell and go into some deficit RDLs, which just means I'm getting a little bit higher off the ground, which gives me a little bit more range of motion to go. So this is going to be a perfect exercise, especially if you're kind of flexible. I'm not saying my mobility is the best, but I love it because it gives you a little bit of an extra stretch in the hamstrings and the glutes. Now, this is also like one of those exercises you still have to be careful, because remember, we're going to put emphasis on the hamstrings and glutes. You don't want a whole lot of tension on your lower back, and if you're putting a whole lot of tension on your lower back, then you have to be careful. Absolutely have to be careful. Like I said, the tension should be placed mostly on the hamstrings and the glutes. So if you're feeling it in your lower back, then you probably need to simply drop the weight and just pick something lighter and work that weight until you feel comfortable with moving to a heavier weight. So last but not least, we got hack squats, because, let's be honest, you can't call it leg day without hitting some squats. The hack squat is a beautiful machine because it places a lot of emphasis on the quads, but also still hits everything else, kind of like a normal compound movement. So another beautiful exercise I highly recommend if you aren't doing it or it's not in your program yet. So I started off kind of light here, started off very light, no weight actually, hitting 15 to 20 reps. So like I said earlier, today was going to be a light day for me, nothing super heavy. So like I said, we're starting off with no weight. And of course, as each set goes on, I'll make sure I throw on more weight. So guys, this will pretty much conclude my leg day. Like I said, this wasn't going to be a super heavy day. It's actually going to be a pretty light day. Just making sure I get my reps in and everything. So I hope you guys learned something. If you did, go ahead and drop a like. Even if you didn't, go ahead and give me a like to support your boy. Comment if you have any questions, please. My inbox is always open. So you can drop a comment here, or you can drop a comment on Instagram, and I promise I'll get back to you. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well. So that's all I got for you guys. Peace out. Thank you.